hour. That's The Good Things. I'm your host, Rebecca Turner. Now, don't forget, you can listen to Good Things when you're streaming live over at SuperTalk.fm. We're also streaming from the SuperTalk Mississippi app. Hope you've downloaded that. You can always find us, too, on your local SuperTalk Mississippi radio station. And finally, you can watch us. We are on your computer or your mobile device. Just head on over to SuperTalk TV. And here's a fun fact for you. It takes over 300 dedicated volunteers from across the country working a full week to decorate the inside and outside of the White House. And joining us today is Miss Valerie Cox. She got invited back for this year. So this is her second year that she's gotten the opportunity to help transform the White House into a winter wonderland. So welcome back, Valerie.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Rebecca.
I want to say congratulations. Is that fair? Is it fair to say congratulations you got to go back again? Because I don't think not everybody's getting to go.
Right, I think it is something to be celebrated. We applied just like every other volunteer. You can't say that you decorated in the past and select which years. I met one lady. She hadn't been back in about 10 years, and she got to go back this year. It worked out for her. So it's really fun to get to see and to get to hear those stories as well.
Well, I think it's super cool. I think it's probably, you would usually say, an opportunity of a lifetime. Now you've gotten to do it twice. So let's talk about the volunteer process, because somebody next year might want to be able to try and knock you off of going for the third year in a row by volunteering. So how do you sign up for this, Valerie? How soon in advance are you thinking about Christmas and decorating the White House?
They usually start in late summer. I would say the end of July or first part of August. They'll put out a press release, and they'll say when the applications are open. And then I only take applications to decorate the White House, but you can apply to be a hostess at one of the holiday parties they offer, and you would give out booklets to the people as the holiday guests as they leave. And you can also, musical groups can apply to actually play in the White House at those parties. And so there's 3 different applications, and you can apply for whichever one you like. And I believe the applications were due at the end of August, and then we did not find out until the first part of October that we had been selected.
And it's usually one of those quick turnarounds, correct, Valerie? I'm remembering back to last year when you got the opportunity to go. It's kind of like, hey, you've been selected, and you're coming real soon. Was that sort of the same?
This year we did get a little more advance notice that we were selected. We had probably about 3 or 4 more weeks to kind of plan and, make an itinerary of what you were going to get to sightsee on your off time.
Well, that's a little bit nicer. You're not crunched for time, but you really didn't need that extra time this time. You're pros at it. You could have used that last year when it was your first time to sort of figure it out. So now that you're going back the second time, how was it different and how was it the same?
Well, I knew more of what to expect and, what to pack. I knew that I didn't need, a lot of fancy, dress clothes because, you're tree flocking and sowing trees and, doing, messy projects. And so I knew kind of to leave those at home. And so it was better to know what to pack. And also I got to see some of the things that I wanted to see but didn't have time. Like I went down to Mount Vernon. And, last year I was trying to sightsee as much as I could, so I just kind of stayed more around the D.C. area. So it was nice this year to get to go and explore. What's
the one thing you got to see this year that was your favorite?
It was actually at the American History Museum, Dorothy's Ruby Red Slippers. Last year they were renovating that exhibit, so I got to go back and see that this year.
What size shoe did she wear?
I'm not sure. It was a very small foot.
I was thinking it has to be a really tiny foot. I was just thinking them to be a little bit smaller than people may give it credit for. But what's not small is how you guys transformed the White House. You and 299 other volunteers from around the country get to come and sort of do that for a week. So what does that week sort of look like? What is sort of your day and your itinerary when you're not sightseeing and you're actually doing decorations? Because, I'd take a full day to do that at my house and transform my small home, Valerie, and I'm exhausted. I can't imagine like a full week of Christmas transformation going on. I mean, that is a little bit overwhelming. So what did your days kind of look like?
The week is split up into two different parts. It's the first 3 days before Thanksgiving, and then on Thanksgiving, we don't have any volunteer duties that day. And then it's the 3 days after Thanksgiving. And so there's a lot of volunteers that only come for the last 3 days. And some do come for just the first, but there's a good bit of us that stay the whole week. The first 2 days are spent at an off-site facility. Just how we store things in the attic, they have an off-site facility where they're able to store all the Christmas decorations, from garlands to, the tree picks to ornaments to lights. It's all stored there. And so just like an average family would, pull things and reuse them from year to year, that's what the White House does too. And so I think that is just an incredible thing. Because, that's just, it's what everyone does. And so I think that's great that they're able to reuse and to recycle. And so, things that we used last year, I saw in one of our rooms, they were able to use this year in a different room. And so I just thought that was really cool. And then, so that was on Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday was our first day in the White House. And so we were able to kind of set it, we have to unload the boxes because we actually, at the off-site facility, we box everything up that we're taking with us. And there's a Secret Service dog that comes through and checks, to make sure everything's safe. And we didn't get to meet her, but she had little trading cards. And so her name was Layla. So we all got a little trading card this year, which I thought was really fun.
That is fun. It's also funny, but I mean, it's a good thing that they're checking, but you're wondering, what's in the tinsel? We don't
right.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And so on Wednesday, we unbox everything and get to put it in its designated areas and just kind of start getting to, organize everything. And we're divided into teams. And so once we unboxed or undid all the trucks with the boxes, every team just kind of split up and organized their area, got started on craft projects again and things like that. And then we came back on Friday. I'd say each team probably has about 25 to 30% more volunteers. And so we kind of start to hit the ground running those days, just, laying things out, start your project, start putting garland up. Everything is already, the trees are lit when we come in, but this year our team did light some of the garlands. So that was fun. And then, Saturday is very busy as well. And then Sunday is just kind of full throttle. We're all just, busy little elves running around. And it's funny because, you see it and you think, oh, okay. And then it's Sunday, the last 2 hours, you're like, wow, this is, it looks so good. It actually comes together. So it's fun to get to see the transformation.
Is there a moment or a celebration at the end, Valerie, where there's the plugging in, I'm thinking like the, Christmas Vacation sort of movie, or whatever it may be, where there's that one moment where it all comes in to shine, or is it just kind of all going together and then you get that moment to stop and pause and walk around and see everyone's collective effort?
It all just kind of comes together at the same time. There is when they move the gingerbread house, HGTV films that. But we all line up in the grand foyer in the cross hall, and they bring it in the door, and we all cheer. And the pastry chef brings it, and her team bring it in. And this year they had the Property Brothers with them too. So that's kind of a fun moment to get to see them bring it in because we're not allowed to see it until then. They make it in the China room, put it together there. And so it's fun to get to see how it fits in with the theme and to get to see it, and it's always breathtaking.
You usually stay into sort of one area or have one room to work in. Was that the same this year for you, Valerie? Did you get to do a different room?
I did. We were, our team had 5 areas. We were in the East Foyer, the East Colonnade, the Cross Hall Grand Foyer, and the China Room. And I mainly helped in the Grand Foyer and Cross Hall, which are right by each other.
I also know the First Lady usually picks a theme for the year. What was the theme this year, Valerie?
It was "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" because it's the 200th anniversary of it.
Oh, that's really cool. Were there any special nods to the states this year, each individual state?
Yes, the Blue Room Tree had it had a train that went around it, and they had kind of like little cityscapes within the tree. And so each of the cityscapes had like a little gift tag almost with the state and territory name on it. So I did have to take some time and find Mississippi.
Well, that is really cool, Valerie. I appreciate your time here on Good Things. Congratulations again for the second year. Hopefully you'll get to go and do a third year. You really will be a pro at this. I appreciate that the White House waits till Thanksgiving to put up all of its Christmas decorations, and it's not back in like August or September. So they give Thanksgiving its time. So congratulations, girl, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You as well.
All righty, you guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.